So I wanted to do a video talking about my Hanna-Barbera collection. The reason why I wanted to do this is I did that Looney Tunes collection Blu-ray video. Part of the reason I did that was a way of saying, look, I haven't watched these. I need to fix that. Um, and I've been doing that. Like I actually watched two different Looney Tunes Blu-rays out of that stack that you saw and out of that whole collection. So I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff. But the other reason I did that video was also to show you, look, I completed this whole collection. I'm excited about that. And I'm going to show you the next collection I'm going to complete. Now, when I say complete, I'm going to use complete in quotations. Um, I'm not trying to get every Hanna-Barbera release ever. First of all, Hanna-Barbera made a lot of shows. A lot of them are very good. A lot of them don't have complete series box sets or they have like a volume or a season release. They don't have everything out there. A lot of them have Blu-rays. A lot of them don't. Like, for example, I bought a Chuck Norris animated show Hanna-Barbera made. I gave that to a coworker for his birthday. That's why I bought that. But like, part of me thought, well, why don't I get this for my collection? And I was like, no, I'll never watch this. So when I say complete, what I really just mean is I'm trying to get everything that they have on Blu-ray. And I want to eventually move towards the Tom and Jerry stuff and the Scooby Doo stuff if I can, but I'm not even sure if I really want to go down all that route. But I am trying to get all the Hanna-Barbera shows that have Blu-rays. But I'll show you some of my DVDs as well. It's mostly Scooby Doo stuff. I think actually I'm looking back at it. I think it's just Scooby Doo stuff. Um, Also, I'll use Hanna-Barbera very lightly in this because, like, some of you might consider Dexter's Laboratory a Hanna-Barbera because it was produced at Hanna-Barbera Studios, but that's really more of a Cartoon Network thing and should be seen as such. So, you know, but let's get into this. I am trying to complete all these, so it's a very small collection. Also, I'm going to show you a bunch of Scooby-Doo and Tom and Jerry stuff. Some of it was more modern stuff, but this is the characters were created at Hanna-Barbera. Why not throw it all into one thing? That's just what I'm going to do. I thought about doing a Scooby-Doo video by itself, but honestly, my Scooby-Doo stack is not as impressive as some other people's. I don't think that's really necessary, but let's start with the first stack here. I also ignore my voice. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. I am sick, so my voice is off, but I still decided to record. So, hey there, it's Yogi Bear. This is just a movie. If you don't know what Hey There, It's Yogi Bear is, fun fact, I did not know this. This is the first ever movie based on a cartoon that was made to go to theaters. And it's a good, decent, it's to be honest, I've seen this movie one time. It's okay. I like Yogi Bear, the show, but this movie is very different from the show. It has like, it's really boring and feels very stretched out. But it's kind of a decent movie. If you like Yogi Bear, it's worth at least checking out. But this I know this one gets cheap on Amazon. I think this was $8 at one point. So I got it when it came out because I just like Yogi Bear. I was glad they put that out on Blu-ray because one of the nice things about some of the stuff that Warner Archive puts out on Blu-ray, sometimes it's stuff that was on DVD and is out of print, and it's always nice to be able to not just have them reprint a DVD, but actually go out of their way to upgrade it, and that's always nice when you can do that. Because in current stage, if there's a DVD that's out of print and you're thinking, man, we should really do something about it, just upgrade the damn thing to HD. That's what you gotta do in current state. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Quest. This is the original Johnny Quest only. So, yeah, 26 episodes. Johnny Quest is an awesome show. This is one of the Hanna-Barbera shows that's better remembered. But the funny thing about Johnny Quest is Johnny Quest was a show that got canceled really quickly into its run because parents were like, this show's really violent and not appropriate. Even though when you watch this show, it's not. really violent at all. Like, yeah, it's got characters in dangerous situations because it's an adventure show. Like, this show probably would have survived airing on TV if it was in live action back in the 60s. I mean, it would have been a little bit different, but still. It does have kind of a darker premise, though, because, the idea of this show, if you don't know, was Dr. Quest has to go on these missions, and he brings along his son Johnny because if anything happened to Johnny, he would just go into depression, not be able to finish his research. And it's a whole different thing. It's a fun show. 26 episodes on Blu-ray. They look fantastic. Also, what's great is when they restored this show, they actually went out of their way to, fix some of the stuff that had been cut down or edited, and they restored some of that, not all of it. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, if you don't have that, that's amazing. Another Johnny Quest release. This is Johnny Quest, Johnny's Golden Quest, and then Johnny Quest versus the Cyber Insects. I think these were 80s TV movies. It doesn't have a date on here, but I believe these were from the 80s. It was kind of a, Johnny Quest was doing good in syndication, so they brought them back for some TV movies. So that was cool. I hope we get more Johnny Quest Blu-rays, because I know there's like a show in the 90s. I don't know how many Johnny Quest shows there were, but there was a few of them that I'd like to see come to the Warner Archive collection. Alright, this one has a loose disc. Space Ghost and Dino Boy. This is not the Space Ghost you're thinking about. A lot of people don't. A lot of people think Space Ghost. They think of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which, by the way, love to see that get a complete series box set or a Blu-ray release or something, DVD, anything we can get with that. That'd be amazing. But Space Ghost Coast to Coast was just taking animation from this show, and yeah, I have not watched this, to be honest. Yeah, I know I need to fix that, but that's gonna, these shows aren't very long. They're only like 26 episodes, majority of them, so it shouldn't take me long to get through these shows, but there's still a few I haven't watched. Now we're getting into the last few before I get into the Scooby-Doo and Tom and Jerry stuff, and then I'll move you over to this area because I have a box set back there I need to show you. Okay. We got Josie and the Pussycats in outer space. Yeah, I've never seen this one, but Warner Archive releases, when you can get it for a good deal, you should. This Blu-ray must have been like $11-12. 16 episodes on Blu-ray for $11-12. Yeah, I haven't watched this mainly because I don't have the original Josie and the Pussycats, which started next month. Well, actually starting this month, because I already bought one this month. Wacky Races, I don't know when it's coming. I think it said next week, but it's currently like pending from Amazon, like the shipping, so I don't know if it's going to ship sooner, but I ordered that because it was $13. So that, but starting next month, I'm going to start buying one of the Warner Archive and Barbera Blu-ray releases from my wish list. And I'm going to start with Josie and the Pussycat so I can get on watching this one because it's kind of so awkward sitting on the shelf, not with the other series. Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles. This show was okay. You got like this show is like two different shows. You got like Frankenstein Jr., which is like a flat adventure show or superhero show with this giant robot kind of Iron Giant looking thing. And then you got these superheroes that are like, they morph into different things, but they're like parodies of the Beatles. It's a weird show. It's fun. I didn't never watch again, but it's an interesting show. I remember it's kind of was nice to revisit that because some of these shows, Like, I didn't remember a whole lot about them, but I did grow up watching them on Boomerang, so it was nice to kind of figure out what those memories of weird shows I was remembering were. The Jetsons. So this is a weird one where the Jetsons actually, I guess it's another DVD back. I won't get into it. Um, where the Jetsons does not have a full series release on Blu-ray because the Jetsons was a weird show. Essentially, the Jetsons only lasted 24 episodes. And you might say, that's weird. I remember it lasting longer. Well, because Hanna-Barbera would run the show in syndication every Saturday morning, because that's when cartoons used to air, that for about 2 decades, from when the show was canceled to when they made more in the 80s, they aired 24 episodes. So you were watching the same 24 episodes for about 2 decades. Now, to a lot of people back then, it probably didn't matter because, like I said, cartoons only aired on Saturday mornings, unless you were lucky to be like the Flintstones or whatever. So it didn't really matter that certain shows like this were airing like that. So you probably weren't able to access all of it and binge it, so you would recognize the difference, right? But it's just so because that this Blu-ray is just that a first original series, so it says the complete original series, but there's stuff from the 80s that will probably never get remastered on Blu-ray, which is weird and it's kind of awkward to think about, but it's true. So you can buy one of the seasons of the Jetsons, but the rest of the show you cannot buy on Blu-ray. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Return to Zombie Island, what our archive release. This was a controversial release because people love Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Scooby fans, this is their favorite Scooby movie. I agree, it's one of mine. Don't know if it's my favorite, but it'd be hard to kind of think what wouldn't be. Return to Zombie Island was not the greatest sequel. It was kind of made when Scooby-Doo was having this big anniversary and, a lot of people really excited about Scooby-Doo and that big anniversary they had going on. Give me 1 second. There's something. Okay, I realized there was some Scooby-Doo stuff missing in my stack here. Anyways, this was a controversial release because that people didn't really want to buy the sequel with the movie that they're not a big fan of, which I get it. So Warner Archive did release a version that you can buy with the slipcover of just that first one. I think it's the same Blu-ray transfer, so that's why I didn't pick it up, but there might have been an additional special feature, but I think it was just the music video for Terror Time or something like that. I don't know. I've been tempted to pick that up. Maybe I will, but I don't know. I'm okay with just having both these on one nice disc. I really like this release because it's like there's no reason they shouldn't be together. And it's like, it'd be one thing if this was $30 or something like that. No, it's like $20, $15. You're not paying a bunch of money. So it's really, if you don't like it, it's like when they did those Disney releases with the Disney animated movies and you get like Mulan 2 or something like that with Mulan. It's there. You don't have to watch it. Why are you upset? But a lot of people adamantly hate this movie. Which I get a little bit, but I also don't. So, nice release though. I'm happy. Also, I'm happy that we got a modern Scooby-Doo release on Blu-ray because one of my biggest problems with the new Scooby-Doo stuff is like they release trailers in HD for the new Scooby-Doo movies. You can go digitally, go buy the Scooby-Doo movies in HD, right? But you cannot buy them physically in HD, DVD only. So it just kind of like, I don't know. So this was made in HD, but only had a DVD up until that point, and it was nice to get it in HD quality the way it was made, right? So one thing I hate that DVDs are still around. I get why they're still around, but it's like, stuff is made in HD. It feels weird to like purposely downgrade the quality to put it on a DVD. Anyways, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost and the Cyber Invaders. This was kind of that same era of Scooby-Doo movies in the 90s where Scooby-Doo was kind of having this renaissance. And so, they were doing this whole 90s revival era Scooby-Doo because Scooby-Doo a lot of people probably don't remember this, but Scooby-Doo, like, was kind of dying. Like, Scooby-Doo in the 60s came around. They had, like, a pup named Scooby-Doo and some other Scooby-Doo spin-offs, but it wasn't until Cartoon Network came around. And Cartoon Network was the first ever, like, cartoon channel to air cartoons nonstop all day long. And so what happened is the people who ran Cartoon Network just acquired the Hanna-Barbera library, and so they were airing Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo became popular again. Same thing with the Looney Tunes. And so, excuse me, I'm still sick. I'm gonna get some to drink. Anyways, so they brought out these Scooby-Doo movies, and that just this was when we finally started getting that era of direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies that really never stopped for a long time, and now it kind of has, and makes me sad because I actually loved a lot of the direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies they were doing. But now it seems like we're never going to get any more. So sad. Let's keep going here. Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. Some of these I don't have anything to say about. Like, I don't have anything to say about it. I think this was $10 on Amazon. $10 for a Scooby movie I didn't have on Blu-ray. Yeah, I'll get that. This is one of the more goofy ones that's kind of like ridiculous and absurd. Basically, the plot of this one is Shaggy gets hypnotized to be brave, so he's doing a lot of weird shit, and there's dinosaurs. It's crazy. It's hilarious. Love this one. Scooby-Doo and Kiss Rock and Roll Mystery. I'm so glad I finally watched this. I don't know why it took me forever to watch this. I finally bought it when Ace died, because I was like, yeah, it's finally time to watch this. And such a fun movie. I have a great time with that. Big Top Scooby-Doo. I think my aunt gave me this one. I forget the reason. But yeah, that's a fun movie. Again, I don't have too much to say about some of these. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. This one is the one where they go in the computer and stuff. They used to air this one all the time as a kid on Cartoon Network. Crazy stuff. The 2 live action movies on Blu-ray. I'm not a crazy fan of these, but I do want to review all the live action Scooby-Doo movies before that new show comes out, which I think we get next year. So, because Netflix is doing that live action Scooby-Doo. So, but I'm missing a couple. I think I'm missing 2 like direct-to-TV ones. These were theatrical. There's 2 TV movies, and there was like that weird Daphne and Velma movie. So I need to get those. Scooby-Doo or Scoob on 4K Blu-ray. Man, this was... If you ask me what movie I was most excited for that year when this came out, it probably was this movie. And I love Scooby-Doo. And I was really excited, as you can see by all these characters here. You got Captain Caveman, Muttley, and Dick Dastardly. I was really excited for a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe with Scooby-Doo characters. And then they just screwed the whole pooch with this one. No pun intended there, I guess. But I did not care for this movie. And I really just was done with this movie. I watched this on my birthday. It was COVID, so we had to rent this at home. And we had pizza, and it was fine. We enjoyed ourselves well enough, but it just was so disappointing. And it's a movie I've seen multiple times trying to enjoy, but I just cannot get with this movie. Scooby, as a mega Scooby fan, this movie did not work for me. So, last Scooby-Doo thing here. This one's a show, so that's why I put this one last. The new Scooby-Doo movies, almost complete collection. This is... So basically, when Scooby-Doo ended the original series, what they did is they did a show called The New Scooby-Doo Movies, where these were essentially like crossover episodes with different like You know, you got Don Knotts here, Sonny Cher, and Batman and Robin, Three Stooges, Laurel and Hardy, bunch of different famous things and people. The thing though was for a while this was a legal nightmare because they had a different collection of this, which had even less um, of the episodes, but Warner Archive for Scooby's or for Warner Brothers for Scooby Doo's like 50th anniversary, or something like that, a few years ago. They were able to get the rights to some of these back, but there's like two of them that they couldn't get rights to. One of them was like Addams Family. MGM did not want to give over the rights for that, so it doesn't have all the episodes. We probably never will get all the episodes on Blu-ray, but so I'm happy with that collection as is. But it is kind of crazy that we will just never, ever, ever get the whole series of that. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to get everything in there. Tom and Jerry the CinemaScope collection from Warner Archive. This was basically CinemaScope. I don't even know how to describe CinemaScope, but it was like this technique where basically like it's kind of one of the first time cartoons like this have been presented in a widescreen. Basically, it's pretty cool. There's 23 shorts on here, right? Yeah, 23. The only thing that made this kind of lame is I bought this back when this came out, because I was really excited that we are getting Tom and Jerry releases for the 85th anniversary of Tom and Jerry. And then they did a big like golden collection or something like that, which has all the theatrical shorts that they did at a certain point, which I haven't bought yet. I'm going to buy it before that new Tom and Jerry movie, the Chinese one, comes out, and watch all those. But I think this is in that set, and so kind of a worthless set for me to buy now. I mean, it's not worthless. I enjoyed watching it, but it was like, oh, there's a better version of this coming out, or already out there that has even more shorts that I just need to go buy. I don't know. This one's pretty cool. Tom and Jerry and the Nutcracker. This is actually a pretty solid Christmas Tom and Jerry movie. I should do a video on this in December. I do really like this movie. I used to watch this one during Cartoon Network's holiday blocks where they air Christmas specials. I remember seeing this one in the same blocks where they air the Chowder Christmas special, which is a great episode, by the way. So, very cool that this is on Blu-ray. You have Tom and Jerry Blast Off to Mars. I think back when Best Buy still sold movies, this was $4, and I made an order for like this at a Steelbook, and it was $4 on the website. So yeah, I was like, fuck it. I think this was another one, Fast and the Furious, $4. Oh. Did not realize it was in that bad a shape, but thanks. So I need to rebuy this, is what I'm hearing. I'll just keep it on the shelf for right now. But yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea it was in that condition. I don't even know how it got like that. Weird. But just it's almost like, it's not cracked or anything. So it just looks like these two pieces weren't put together like in the packaging. Weird. How did I not notice that before? Shows you I probably have never watched this. I mean, I've seen this movie before. I watched it a lot as a kid. So, but I mean, I probably have literally never watched this Blu-ray copy. So that's weird. Now I'm going to take you somewhere else, somewhere magical and mystical. And we have arrived at my DVD shelf. I got Tom and Jerry the movie. This is the 90s animated one. This was the last project that Joseph and Hanna-Barbera worked on before they died. A little depressing, but yeah. I'm going to do a video on this when the new Chinese animated Tom and Jerry movie comes to the States. This will be an interesting movie to do a video on, because I have a ton of nostalgia for this movie, despite it being not good at all. Now we'll get in my Scooby-Doo stuff, which is actually a lot here. In fact, that's like all my Hanna-Barbera DVDs, except one that I'm going to show you the next after these, but you know, I want to show you the standard ones first. So you got Scooby-Doo and the Gourmet Ghost. This is the one where they cross over Gordon Ramsay for some reason, because that was a thing that needed to happen. But you know, Scooby-Doo's always had those weird crossover things, so nothing to complain about. Scooby-Doo, the Sword and the Stone, or the Sword and the Scoob, my bad. I don't remember anything about this one. I don't remember. This one's really cool. The Courage the Cowardly Dog one. This one's great. It's crazy. You actually had the creator of that show working on that one. Scooby-Doo Happy Halloween. This is the one where... I can't remember. Is this the one? I think this is the one that has Bill Nye and Elvira in it. And then this one is also really fun. This is the one where people flipped out because Velma was gay, even though Velma had been gay for years, motherfuckers. Not that I care, but I just thought that was funny. It was like, you know, like, there's literally a cartoon where, like, she was very hinted at having a romantic connection with this girl. That thing's been around for years, and then all of a sudden people saw that and they're flipping out. I don't know. People are weird. Homophobic people are funny. Scooby-Doo and the Saga of 13 Ghosts. This was a cool Walmart exclusive DVD because if you don't know, they made a Scooby-Doo show back in the day with Vincent Price, where the concept of the show was just Shaggy and Scooby, and they were hunting down these 13 ghosts. Well, I think they only caught like 11 or 12 of them, and the show ended and got canceled, so they never finished the show. So later they're like, let's do a direct-to-video movie, finish the show, and that's basically what this was. And Vincent Price, of course, didn't pass, but his character's still in here, and they got to sound alike, and it was pretty good. But Walmart put bundled the show and the movie together, and it was $10. So now you have both the show and the movie together, because it was really easy to do that, because the show was only like 12 episodes or some shit. So Scooby-Doo, Guess Who? Seasons 1 and 2. This was a show that was like the new Scooby-Doo movies where they'd have different guest stars. Like, I think one of them has like Weird Al and stuff in there. I haven't watched these yet. But it was, you know, a modern show of Scooby-Doo getting complete season releases, so I picked them up and I never got around to watching them. So Scooby-Doo meets Batman the Brave and the Bold. Yeah, but I was never a big fan of Batman the Brave and the Bold, but I never actually watched like the whole series. I just watched random episodes. I'm going to watch more when the Batman movie gets closer next year, the sequel. But this show made me want to watch that movie. Or watch that show, because I really love this movie. Very fun movie. Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2. I mean, it's Crypto. I was very excited when this got a release, because I think this was one that they were writing off in their taxes, or got leaked or something like that, and they just never released it. So, and then all of a sudden it went up for pre-order and I snagged it. So, have that. And then now we'll get into the last DVD set here. Then I'll show you a couple more Blu-ray sets. A couple more Blu-ray things, and then we'll move on. Jetsons, the complete series. So this is the Jetsons complete series with all 75 episodes. So basically that Blu-ray I showed you, like I said, was only season 1. This actually has all the episodes in it. You're never going to guess what I got this for. I got this for $10 off of Amazon on back order. So it's got... Now, there's a bonus disc with Jetsons Meet the Flintstones. That does have a Blu-ray now. In fact, it's part of a big Barbera box set that I asked for my birthday, so hopefully I get it. But that has, the Flintstones Meet the Jetsons in it. So this is a good set if you want to have all the episodes in one nice set. It runs very cheap. I think the most I've seen it for is like $20. I got it for $10 on Amazon one time. In fact, I bought 2 copies, gave one to my grandpa for Christmas one year. Don't know if he actually ever watched any of it, but it seemed like something that he would like, so I got it for him. I pray he did. Okay, yeah. So this is a Kino Lorber release. That's why it's not with my other stuff. And that is the Jetsons movie. I don't know how this works out. Like, this got put out by Universal in theaters, not Warner Brothers. But doesn't Warner Brothers own the Jetsons? Not really sure how that works out, but they made this movie. And it's awful. Don't watch it, but Jetsons fan of me was glad they put it on Blu-ray, just wanted to have it, so I have it. Yeah, so I picked that up. I just want to show you I had that, because it was part of the collection. I do have the live-action, one of the live-action Flintstones movies, but I'm not going to pull that out, just in case you're wondering. But I don't have the first one, because I got rid of my Blu-ray, because there's a 4K Steelbook that I pre-ordered that comes out in June. So that's why I'm not going to worry about showing you those. Now let's get into the last of these before the last thing I have to show you. Yeah, I have a show playing in the background. I like to have playing shows in the background while I'm recording sometimes. That's just me. I just want those flashing colors in your face. I got the Flintstones complete series, which is a great release. I actually have not watched all these, to be honest with you, because there's 166 episodes in here, plus 2 movies. So trying to watch all this is crazy. And also, it's not really the complete Flintstones, because the Flintstones had so many different spin-offs and specials that it's kind of crazy to have even that on Blu-ray. So I have all those episodes. I just haven't watched all of them. I need to do it, but it's like 166 episodes. When am I going to be done watching that? You know what I'm saying? Also, Flintstone episodes are very repetitive, so you can watch a ton of those all at one time. And you're going to get exhausted. Because you're like, okay, I watched this episode like 50 times over. Do I need to watch it again? Probably not. So, I don't know. I do love the Flintstones, but like, it is kind of like, oh yeah. Okay, last thing I'm going to show you out. I'm just going to show you it. I have Scooby-Doo, the original series, in this beautiful box set. I have it on a shelf because I do not watch these. Why? Because the discs come loose in this little contraption here on the inside. That's that thing with the Blu-ray logo at the top. That's where the discs are held. They pop out all the time. There is a piece of that show in a standard Blu-ray case. It's like $20. I need to buy it just to put it over here so I can watch all the original episodes, because I don't like watching them. That is just a display piece. It's a beautiful display piece, but it is like, fuck, I cannot actually watch them in that set. Let me know your thoughts.